Welcome to Mystically Me. I hope you're all having a wonderful Friday. And if you are new here, I just want to share with you what this channel is all about. This is a place for you to connect your intuition and hear messages from your higher guidance. I do channeled readings with tarot and oracle cards, just wanting to be a space for people to really connect. And especially for those of you who have been searching for so much more or searching to connect with your higher guidance, your higher self, this is the place for you. Just remember, any message that comes through, these messages are for a collective, so you will know in your heart, in your soul, in your solar plexus if the message is meant for you. Let's jump in. Actually, before we jump in with the cards, I am curious if any of you were feeling the eclipse exhaustion. We had a big solar eclipse on Wednesday the 12th, and if you were in the United States, I don't really think we could see it from here, but you could see it in northern Spain and Greenland and Iceland. Anyway, throughout history and just, when you get into the spiritual world or metaphysical world, eclipses are known to bring a lot of exhaustion. It wasn't like a typical new moon. Just curious if anyone else was feeling it. I am finally feeling back to like myself, I guess, on Friday here, but it was a couple days of just not really depression, just kind of feeling just sort of feeling it, especially if you were a Leo. The eclipse was in Leo, so that's your first house of identity. Some pretty big changes, really, for a lot of Leos right now. It is completely like leaving behind an identity that you just kind of picked up along the way and isn't that was never really yours to be forever. So a lot going on, and that definitely fits the theme of my life with all the things changing. But let's hop into our inner child cards, because, as you know, they're where I always like to start. All right, we have the Guide of Hearts, which is like the good fairy. Oh wait, is that what she's called? From the Wizard of Oz. The good fairy, maybe, or the good witch. Okay, then we have the Four of Swords, which has four, boys on a ship. It always reminds me, or on a raft, I guess. Not a ship. They're very different things. It always reminds me of Huck Finn when I see this card. And then we've also got the Four of Crystals. Oh, another four. It's making me want to draw another one. See, do we get 3 4s in a row? Oh, no, we got a 9. And let's see. Seeker of Swords, which is the Scarecrow. And Snow White. All right, I pulled more than I usually do. We've got 6 going on here. So let me see what is coming through. Okay, so I feel, when you see whether she's the good witch or the good fairy, I wish I could remember what she is or who she is. Um, but, usually that means you have a special protection, you have guidance from above. So for someone out there, your higher guidance, your angels, your guides, your ancestors, however you like to refer to them, they are near. Um, I feel like sometimes we get white feathers, like in our path, when that's a sign that angels are near or our guides are near. So if you are someone who has recently just witnessed or come across a white feather, just realize that's your higher guidance, kind of just saying hello, giving you a little sign that they're always here and they've got you. Uh, because they want you to call on them. The thing is with even with help from our guides and angels and stuff, you have to ask. For those of you who are religious, you pray when you want to talk to God. You're asking God, right? You're praying. So you have to, all of those, I don't know if you want to call them spirits, entities, magical beings of light, whatever you're comfortable with. I like them all. Um, they really want to help you, but like anything else, you have free will. You have to ask. They're not just gonna, they will intervene to like for safety things, I feel at times, but on a day-to-day basis, you really need to connect with that energy, so you can yourself, get their help and they can feel that they're doing it. So yeah, I just wanted to look it up. It is the Good Fairy of the North. So I apologize for not knowing that. It's been a while since I saw it. And yeah, so really, if you quiet your mind, you're going to be able to connect to this higher guidance, your good fairy, if you want to believe it. And just remember, home is where the heart is. And that's not necessarily a physical place. Certainly doesn't mean for some people, like their childhood home. I know for me, that was not where my heart was. It was not a safe place to be. But it can also mean really doing the things that you want to do with your life, spending your time the way you want to spend it. I realize, yes, we have jobs, we have bills, whatever this, but at the end of the day, you're here to like live a life not just kind of exist through it and cope through it and barely survive it. So think about that. Are you just thriving, living, or are you just surviving the day to day? And even though the change can be hard, when you make the choices to become more authentically who you are and share the parts of you that make you unique, that is where the true, at least I feel, the true home is where the heart is. And that's what your guides are really saying to you right now. If this message is for you, you need to find a way to bring into your life more things that bring you joy. Obviously, not everyone can make a huge life job change, relationship change, but there are little ways each day to do something, even if it's only 5 minutes. Just try because you deserve it. And the more you can open up the space to do things like that for yourself, that opens up the space for more wonderful things to happen to you on a bigger level. Even the small things help you see, this is where you start. So then, that when I say start, it's like you're building, and that's what the next card is with with the Four of Crystals, we have actually, I guess the Four of Swords was next, but somehow when I was moving stuff around on my table, they got switched around. So let's look into this. This is kind of the frame of a house, is what they show on this card. So this is the initial stages of building something new for who this message is for. It's kind of like the bones of the house, just the structural beams. So you might be feeling, so where this message is taking me and what guidance is coming in right now, for someone, you are seeing a task at hand as really huge, like overwhelming. You don't feel like you're going to be able to accomplish it or that it's too much. And you just are kind of looking at it at this a massive amount of work and energy from you. And what your guides want you to know or to consider is looking at it from a different way. Because honestly, and also this is coming in, there might be not like a whole change your whole life path, but maybe a little redirect going on here. Uh, it feels like what's coming through is however you're looking at this situation, if you just are willing to make a little tweak to what you're seeing or how you're interpreting it, it's going to open up and be a lot more joyful, more expansive, something you're like really excited about. But I also feel that if you cannot, if this is something that you really are unable to find that in, then this is not the right move. If taking the next step in something or moving ahead in a project, a plan, a relationship, whatever this might be, feels heavy and like, okay, sorry, the guides are stopping me. So sometimes doing something big and scary, big and new, will feel a little scary and put you on your edge. But there's a point when it's beyond that, and it's not just like the butterflies in your stomach, the excitement you're feeling, like with the nerves, like, oh my gosh, can I do this? If it's more than that, like there's a sense of dread or just this heaviness I'm feeling in someone right now, I would just, if possible, take a step back, because anything you're moving towards, anything you're building, shouldn't feel however this like what I'm feeling in the person who this message is for right now, if that makes sense. Like it is, I mean, it's almost a dread. Just every time you go to focus on this or work on it more, it's a dread. And, if it's something new for your business or whatever, anything created in a feeling of dread is going to kind of put off the vibe of dread. So just, yeah, that's where this message has kind of gone. I'm going to leave that to sit with someone. Um, But again, you don't have to restart. Don't look at it like, oh my gosh, everything I've done so far is wrong. That's not it at all. It's, can you see a small tweak, a shift, a little change you can make that really does make this the project, the next step, the whatever you dream of? And if not, it's time to maybe just let it go or step away if you can and find what really makes your heart sing. Like what brings you joy. And I know to some people that sounds so silly, but does it? Really? Are we just meant to live a life of work and misery? I don't think so. Uh, I did for a long time. Not that I thought that, but I didn't make any moves to change it. And now I have. So, we're all in different places. where are we at? So whoever that message is for, I hope it sits. Let me get back into these cards. So, okay, so the building with that, and then the Nine of Crystals. It's got a Christmas tree. It's the night, it's an Eve, it looks like to me. It's the Eve. So, Nine of Crystals is often um, in the traditional deck, because sorry, I lost the crystals in the inner child deck relate to the pentacles for the traditional tarot. So the nine is really coming into a place of legacy and luxury and making these, you've maybe stepped into a new level of taking care of yourself, or even financially stepped into a new level of existing. Maybe you got a raise, or you decided to like go for the life of your dreams at some point and have made major changes, and those things are actually happening and coming through, which is great. So one thing to think about when and what I like about the flip with this card being about kind of like a Christmas Eve. So just think, and this is if you've celebrated Christmas as a little kid, the anticipation on Christmas Eve. There's not really an energy I can think of right now as an adult that is comparable to what as a kid you feel every year on Christmas Eve. There's just this anticipation, excitement, joy. Um, you don't know what's going to happen if especially when you believe in Santa. If you were lucky enough to still do, keep that forever, because I love believing in things that are amazing and magical. And just there's just so much. So I want you to like feel that there is something exciting coming for someone. Actually, I feel this is a bigger message for a bigger collective. You have every right to feel that like inner excitement. I mean, I feel, and you might not even have any outside evidence currently of what you're feeling is coming inside, but you just know it. And that's what's so amazing when you connect to your intuition and your higher self. So, whoever this message is for, keep that excitement, that anticipation. Check back in with that feeling. If whenever you feel yourself coming into, old patterns of doubt and scarcity, or that feeling, oh, it's never going to happen for me, just keep in mind, try to come back to this. Think about being a kid on Christmas Eve if you have to regain that excitement and that wonder and awe and just belief, absolute belief that tomorrow is going to be amazing. And the magic in the air on that night is palpable, I feel. And just keep coming back to that whatever way you can. And I realize this is very difficult, especially, when you have put so much effort and time into something and you just have been really focused on the optimism and it's happening and you still aren't seeing results in the 3D physical world. Just do your best to stay in that frequency of anticipation, expectancy, and knowing that the good is coming, that belief. Okay, it's really interesting. So sometimes I feel like the cards all come out and they're one message, but I feel like each one of these cards, well, maybe the first three were kind of together, but I feel the other ones have kind of each been their own message that, yes, could connect all for someone depending, but also be their own message in their own right. Okay, so the Scarecrow. So let's think about, so the Scarecrow, if you're familiar with the Wizard of Oz, let's see, the Scarecrow doesn't have a brain. And let's see what's coming through with this. Well, for someone, your guides are coming through big time with, you've got to give yourself more credit. You are smart. You are intelligent. You are kind of caught up in thinking right now that you don't have a brain. Like if I only had a brain, but you do have a brain. The thing is you are someone, and this might be very specific, but you are someone who leads with your heart. You live from your heart. So trying to force yourself to make all your decisions through your brain and logic, which is where I feel like what you're saying, you don't have a brain because you're really stuck on trying to make a decision right now. You like that's never going to be your main mode of operation, and you might have someone in your life telling you you've got to make decisions with your mind and not your heart, and that might be very well and perfect for them, But there are people out there who live from their soul and their emotions. And I am someone that does that. And it doesn't work for me just to make decisions with my brain. Oftentimes I would feel how you're feeling right now, just like you, like what's wrong with me? I can function in the world fine. I can make decisions, but right now you just cannot make a decision on something. And your guides are just telling you, stop trying to think it through. You've got to feel it. You're a feeler. That's how you find your answers. Now, if you want, if you feel like this is the most responsible way to do it, you can make the decision with your heart and then, check it with your mind to make sure you're being whatever. But uh, that's only if you really feel you need to. Your heart, you know what you need and what your decision should be. So stop trying to make it with your head and go back to your heart, because that's who you are. You're all heart. And I want to say you're all heart girl. That doesn't necessarily mean masculine or feminine. Uh, I do believe that those are, we have divine masculine and feminine within each of us. And so, yeah, your heart. You're all about the heart. So live through that heart. Okay, let me see if there's anything else with that one specifically. I just want to check the book real quick on this one just to see. Okay. Um, yeah, it is pretty much what I said. So just one thing I noticed on the in the card interpretation that I didn't say was, and this feels like it could be for separate for someone else, but someone out there has been really thinking about maybe taking a class, uh, some sort of course. Who knows? It might be a workshop. It could be small. It could be big, but do it. Especially if it's free, why not? It's not going to waste any of your time. And if it does cost some money, really think about, what is it costing you not taking that class, or engaging in that content, whatever it might be. Maybe it's a certain spiritual path you're being called to, a religious path, I'm not sure. But never let, this is something I've really had to teach myself lately as I've been stepping into this world of, a new business and walking away from like a 20-year career, is I need to put myself in the room sometimes, taking classes, being in different things, to be around the energy I want to be around. In my personal life, I don't have a ton of spiritual friends who I can talk to all the time about this stuff. I am definitely gaining more and more, which is great. But for a long time, this was kind of like, if someone at work felt it seemed cool, I would bring it up. Or, over the years, I couldn't help myself. And someone would say something and be like, oh my gosh, that's such a Pisces thing. Or, oh, that's such a Leo thing. I can't not share things I'm passionate about and that I believe in. So, especially this, I didn't really share this part of myself, like the channeling with many people, and just the spontaneous channel of being with friends and family or people that I love, and the messages coming through for them as real time in person. Okay. So yeah, let's look at Snow White here. So thinking about the whole Snow White story, I do feel that this really does kind of connect back in with all of this. And this is, the biggest message coming through about this card is you are ready to receive your own buried treasure. Like, you have so much knowledge and wisdom and things that only you know, and only you can say the way that you say. You're the only one who's ever lived the experience that you've lived. And even when people have similar life experiences, they can be so different, because so much of it is your perspective and what is coming through right now for someone specific. Or I feel this is many people right now. You are underplaying and undercounting the unique gifts you bring to this world. And I'm not saying this unique gift has to be like, oh, you're psychic and you can tell the future, or you can analyze dreams, or you can heal people with the touch of your hand. It could be something as simple as your perspective on life, like how you share a story about something you went through, how you survived something you went through. It's not always what we think it has to be, like something, oh, this has to be special and unique about me. I'm really good at helping people grow bigger muscles. I'm going to be a personal trainer. Sometimes so much of what someone has to offer, or the gifts that they bring to this world, are their presence. And this can be listening, this can be storytelling. There's just so many different aspects of this. So really, really, your guides, they want you to know, You are amazing. You are this beautiful light to the world. And what you have to share is going to help so many people. You just have to believe that you're worth sharing it because you are. This is also another reminder coming in big time. You have to reach out to your angels and guides for help. I feel for this is for a collective, maybe specific, but I definitely feel this is for a couple of people out there. You have had the confirmation, the evidence. You now believe you have angels and guides. You know this. You don't doubt that anymore. So, part of building a connection with them, besides, getting maybe your own oracle or tarot deck, if you have any questions, let me know. This is how I started out with all of this, was to read for me. It really turns out I read much better for other people, because when it's great for guidance. I would just say, in my own personal experience, and you might be able to attach much better than me, in my own personal experience, I am too attached to an outcome. So like I've really realized, with doing card readings over the years for myself, I can make any reading about romance or love pretty much answer the way I wanted to. So that's why I really like these. It's also the reason I do these readings without any video, just because I really want the messages to come through and not for it not to be about any person or specific entity, because it's not me. It is, I'm just a vessel for these messages to come through, and getting them out into the world is the point. It's not about me. So, anyway, you've got to ask your guides and angels for help. They want to help you. They are there for you, and they want to help you so much, but you have to ask them. You have to say it. You can say it out loud like I'm talking right now. You can say it inner dialogue if you want. You can write it down. Heck, do all three. I like to do all three. Why not? You know how I love 3, 6s, and 9s. Nikola Tesla, check it out. So, I think this is a really great place to stop. I do want to find, where are those cards? Let's see. The universe has your back cards. We'll pull one of those to end this, or maybe two. Sometimes, more than one wants to fly out, and I have no control over that. It's just the universe sending messages like it tries to all the time. Your angels and guides are always trying to communicate and give you little signs that they are there and listening. So, all right. Oh, this is a longer one. It looks like it'll be just one. The card to wrap this up from the deck, called The Universe Has Your Back. It's great. My capacity to tune into the energy of love gives me the words I need when I'm ready to speak up, the compassion I need when it's time to forgive, and the power I need when I'm lost. I'm going to read that 2 more times, because if I read it once more, which was the plan, I'm going to have to do it a third. My capacity to tune into the energy of love gives me the words I need when I'm ready to speak up, the compassion I need when it's time to forgive, and the power I need when I am lost. And one more time. My capacity to tune into the energy of love gives me the words I need when I'm ready to speak up, the compassion I need when it's time to forgive, and the power I need when I am lost. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Remember, living your life unapologetically, authentically yourself is the way to restore your childlike wonder. I love you all.